student president. My name is Heidi Vistisen, and I want to bring back the students into the heart of QMU. I want to work to engage the wider student body and to ensure that communication is sufficient across the board. I'm not big on public speaking, and I don't think any of us are very used to it, but I want to use my remaining 2.5 minutes of telling you why you should vote for me. First of all, I'm very experienced in the union, and I've been involved since my first year here in 2012. I've been part of student parliament, and for the last 2 years I've been chairing it, and it's given me an insight into the union and how it on the way it operates. As you may have noticed, there's been a representation review going on, and it's to change the way that we're all represented and the way feedback and communication works. As sad as it may sound, I find this very interesting, and I love all of these nerdy things of it, and I love the Constitution. Well, I don't love the Constitution, but I like the Constitution, and I like working with it. I'm pretty sure that Fergus feels the same way as I do, and I think it's very important in this role. As far as experience comes, I've worked to start the LGBT Society, and I've been a member of the Board of Trustees, which again has proven very valuable as insight into the student union and into the role of being student president. If you vote for me, I will work to fulfill three priorities. It's representation, getting an event scheduled, and ensuring an improved timetable. With regard to representation, women are dominated in our university, but it's been 10 years since we had a women president. I want to change this, and I want to work with the elected advice support equalities officer to ensure the welfare of underrepresented groups at QMU. The other day I had the idea of an event schedule because I wanted to know what was going on campus, but to find out I had to scroll through the QMUSU Facebook page, and I had to scroll through loads and loads of posts that weren't necessarily very relevant to what I wanted to know. So what I want to do is to make a site or some sort of page that people can log on to see what's going on campus, whether it be sports trainings, socials for sports societies, or an event that's going on here in Maggie's. Thirdly, I want to work on a timetable for all affected by it, whether it's good or bad. And I want us to have more involvement in the process, and I want us to be able to improve on the timetable process. So I want to work with the university and the school office to figure out how to do this better. So finally, vote for me to get the first woman president in 10 years and for continuing development of the student union. Thank you. Right, okay. So sports societies is a big part of QMU, and it's also a really big part of a lot of the other universities we've got in Edinburgh. We've got the disadvantage of being out here, but as far as I'm aware, there's some collaboration that's going on between some of the teams here and at the university. I think a really good thing would be to work with Harriet Book, which is a university that's quite similar to the way we are, and it's far out. And I think we are working on that, as far as I'm aware, through NUS and through our collaborations with the elections, it will get better. What I personally will do is probably to hand some of it over to the Vice President, seeing as that's their remit, but I will do all that I can do to support it. Thank you. My first point would be to collaborate with health sciences, because we've got a big nutrition course, we've got dietetics, and all these other things I don't actually know what it is, because it's not from business school, but I have an idea that they will actually know what they're talking about. There is also the Baxter Story focus group that I think a lot of people would benefit from being part of. I know Alan's been part of it. And I think it is a good opportunity to work with them, because we don't actually have very much say over what they sell. It's a way for us to lobby them and to talk to them, and it is a very important part, especially during the weekends when people don't have very many places to go for food. It's really important for them to go for something that's a bit more sustainable and a bit more healthy for them. So yeah, I think my main focus would be to talk to the health scientists and then maybe make it collaborative to the kids. When they go on placement and got so many other things that they need to do. I think, and as I said before, we should make a forum. We should make a way for people to come together and talk about the issues that they face, and then to work together on them. As I said before, one of my priorities is representation, and I think using class reps and making sure that the lecturers use their class reps will make sure that the health science students have the support they need and know where to go forward. Right, as Fergus sort of touched upon, it's not exactly under the remit of student president, but I'll attempt an answer anyway. When looking at it this way, it will come back to representation. So Johnny this year started a Sport Societies committee, and I think for them to work together, to have them on our committee together, will help bridge that barrier. There is a lot of people that's involved in both societies and sports, but it's not many. Well, just that's contradicting. There are some that are involved, and I think it doesn't necessarily always have to be together if you want to be part of sport. You don't have to be part of societies, but some of the things will have to be the same with budgets and funding is the same. But I have no idea, to be honest. This is not my remit, but I think working in the committees with them together will. Thanks. I agree that we need an increased use of the laws. I personally think, to go back to sport societies, that it's about them bringing their events and their social back into the box and back into the Matthews. We've got a space, and I know it's out of town, but we've also got all opportunities for people to use it. As I put on my manifesto, I've got a priority that's the event schedule, and I think if we use that in a way that everybody can put and they can add their events onto, so if it's a social, it's open for everybody. If it's not open for everybody, it's just so people who will know where they are, and then people who live in halls can say, okay, well, this is going on tonight, I might actually come by, rather than just sort of walking by and it might look dark, or it might look lively, or not. It's just sort of a way to get out there. So I think it's more of a communication and marketing question rather than changing the bar. Because I don't necessarily think that it's a bad place. Lots happened over the years and it has changed. I'm just going to finally say that I think we should use our event officer and our marketing officer elect for next year, and hopefully they'll be able to pull us out of this. Thank you. Right. So Fergus said it's about advertising, but I think it's about communication and getting the word out there for the event, and whether it's about marketing, was it theatre and drama performance? Yeah. I think that as a for the event schedule, that's not only going to be for sport society. It's not only going to be for events put on by the union. It's not only going to be for courses. It's going to be for everything, which is the point of it. That you don't have to go look in several different places. You have this one schedule. You go on and say, okay, Wednesday the 11th we've got to take out Maggie's, but there's also badminton training in the hall kind of thing. So you know what's going on. And I think that together with better communication will make that better. I'm very happy that this question came up because I think that the union and Maggie's and everything here is about so much more than just the events. It's about representing our students. It's about doing something for our community. It's about involving us all in society. Because after we finish here, we're going to go out in society. We're going to have to deal with the real world, as scary as that is. To do this more creatively, because we've been undergoing this representation review, one of the things that's come up is how to engage the students more and how to actually get the student opinion. A thing that came up was to do polls. To do online polls or go down 1875, get people to send a tip where they think they've got the best idea, whether it be for that, or whether it be for the next campaign we're going to do, along the politicians and figure out with the general elections or anything like this. We need to find an issue that everybody cares about and then work together on that, because that's really very good. Thank you. This is really tough. I'm going to take representation, and I feel like it's a word I've said a lot today. students, and it's about how we as sabbatical officers engage with the part-time officer, with the staff, with everybody down here and everybody in your university. Something that I'm really passionate about, and it's something that's really boring and something that's really nerdy for a lot of people. But I really want this to be a big deal, and I really want everybody to be represented, whether it's unrepresented groups of any kind, or if it's any other student. It's a cause that's really strongly connected to me, and I really want that to be a thing. So please, thank you. So I don't necessarily think that very many of my priorities will take very much money, but I do know that time is money, and I do know that some things will end up costing a lot more than you ever thought they will. But I also know that there's a budget for representation, and it is something that will go under some of the things that we are already budgeting for. Going out speaking to the students might be a priority that will be worth our money in the long run. So I don't necessarily think that financing and budgeting is that big a concern for my manifesto. I do, however, understand that it will be a bigger problem for a lot of society and event in the bigger scale, because we all want the biggest thing to happen. We all want a big fancy grand ball, and it's going to be great no matter what. But we're going to have more money. Yeah, thanks. Sorry, that's it for the answer. Thank you. Yay! We've had the representation review, and as one of the things that's coming through, and you will all be told in I don't know when, that the officers need to have more representatives, and that this is probably why Cal's bringing it up as well. I think it's really important, and we are 2 sabbatical officers, and we could probably use a third one. So that's why we've got the officers to help everybody out and to represent all the students, and there needs to be a group to represent all the students. I think that they need to be more present on campus. Even if you are an event officer, it is talking to the students, figuring out what event the students want to put on. So yeah, encouraging them to talk more to the students, and of course we'll go and talk to the students with them. Thank you.